What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? I'm so excited to be back in the groove of doing our courses. I know it's been a heavy weekend, so I appreciate you all being here with me. We're also having class tonight, so I promised y'all I would do a makeup class since I missed last week with doing the All Over Destination workshop, which we have another one coming up this weekend in California. So if you are not, well, this will be the last one of the year, the one in California. So if you're able to make it out there, find your cheap flight, come on and join us. It's a very small group so far, so I think you would be able to get some personalized attention. Um, so if you're able to do that, come on out and join us. Come on out and join us. Or if you're close enough, where you can drive by, it's in Los Angeles. All right, so let's get on to the nitty gritty because I know why you're here. I thought this would be a really, really fun project. We're teaming up with Coach Q. She is the queen of cut and sew, and she's also very good with Photoshop as well. However, her primary teaching point is sewing, the cut and sew operation, fabrics. She even sells fabrics. She also has the Sew Pro Academy, which will be launching its first course, and we're doing a team effort with this. So we're going to do this product here. It does not have to be cut and sew, and that's the beauty of what we're showing you here. With any of the Innate Lab templates, any of the all over templates, you can use them for cut and sew. We can use them for sublimation prints, of course, all overs, 13 by 19s. I'm also going to be show you how to optimize your designs for DTF transfers as well as print and cut transfers. So we've got a lot going on, and I just really want you all to know that this is going to be the spot where we stay on the cutting edge of whatever's going on and also stay on top with hot graphics, okay? So here's a trend, ugly Christmas sweaters. I just want to zoom in here so y'all can see that this does actually have texture in it. The texture, reminds you of a sweater. So although we're printing this on a t-shirt or sweatshirt material in order to cut and sew, it's going to have these really coarse looking knit pattern involved in the whole design. And of course, you can turn that off as well. Coach Q, yep. She as a matter of fact, I think she's working on like literally sewing this up like right now. So if she's able to get us a photo, she said she'll get us a photo, a preview of her putting it together or having it put together, and then of course she'll be teaching the actual course. So without further ado, what we're going to do for tonight, I just want to go ahead and let you know what you need to have. We're going to have a main image. Okay, so your main image. You're going to have two accent images. Okay, so we're going to keep the snowflakes and the reindeer, and you're going to change out these two accent images. So let's see what you all came up for me. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my grid line here. So I'm going to go to view, show, and turn off my guides. I'm sorry, that was my guideline, not my grid line. I've been working with grids too, so I've been doing a lot. Let's see. Let me go to y'all suggestions on the book of the face. Let's see, Facebook. What did y'all say y'all wanted to do? All right, so I wanted to quick flip this to a sports team. Let's see, Corey, you got, is that Tom Brady? I don't know. I should have asked y'all to put the name of the person because I don't even know what to search for. I'm assuming that's Tom Brady with the Bucks. I see a Titans player, but I don't know who it is. LaCrystal says Carson Wentz for the Colts. Now I'm just reading this off. Alvin, what does Alvin play for the Saints? So right here on this live, let me see what y'all have for me because we're going to literally do this in real time. This is what you will be doing to prepare for class tonight. And I know there's a little bit of lag here. So let's go with Tom Brady in the Bucks. Let's do it. All right, so we'll type in Tom Brady, see if we can get a nice image. I'm going to go to images, I'm going to go to tools, and then size. I'm looking for large images. That way I don't get any pixelated images. And let's see. I want one with some color in it because I really want it to, or I can do one with white and make the background color. I can do that as well. And I like action shots versus like posed images. So let's see what I have. I think this one works. All right, so let's right click. We're going to open the image in a new tab. The reason why I do that is because I want to see if it's really high resolution. Some of these websites lie to us. Surprise, surprise. So I'm going to go ahead and save image as. Tell it that I want to put it in my 156 folder. I'm going to make a folder and I'm going to label it Brady, just so that I know that's going to be where his stuff is. So this is going to be the photo. All right, so you don't have to do a photo. You can just do the logo or something. And remember, you're doing this for personal use. You know, I have to give that disclaimer to make sure that I'm not being misleading with what I'm having you all do. So everything that we're doing in class tonight is your business. It's your personal use. If you're going to do something for business, as far as printing for others, then just make sure it's something that you can reprint. Okay. Yes, so Cora gets the template for free because I'm picking her player. And yeah, I probably will do another one. So y'all don't give up. Give me another theme. It doesn't have to be football, it could be anything. If shoot, it could be a Lilo and Stitch or something. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all want to see on this template flip. Okay, so we have the photo. The next thing I'm going to do, I know I want two images. So one image, I'm going to look up the helmet. So I'm going to look up, I'm going to go back to my Google search. So I'm going to do, what is this, Tampa Bucks, and then I'm going to look up the helmet. Okay, because I think that'll be an interesting image. So I'm going to images, going to go to tools, size, and large to make sure I get a nice image. And if that's the one that I'm going to use, I think this is a clean image, even if it's not vector. Now, of course, it's not letting me get to it right here. Right click, inspect. Let's see if we can get to this bad boy. Open that. Doop, 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 inspect. There it is. Source image, 1280 by 1280. Open in a new tab. Bam. Right click, save image as. So I'll call that helmet. All right, so we have a helmet, we have our photo, and maybe just the logo itself. Okay, so let's look that up. And of course, you are not going to receive this file with these images in it. Well, if I was giving it to you for free, I don't think that would be an issue. But I'm just not going to take that chance. But you know how to do what you need to do if it's for personal use. Let's do the logo now. And I'm going to type in SVG. Typically, it's easier to find the SVG images. And I don't want words per se. And I want to make sure that I get the right logo because this one and this one look different. I think it's probably more of this one. And then we may even have to change those reds up because it looks like they're using different reds. So let's go to open that image in a new tab. That looks pretty high resolution. Save image as, and then I'm just going to save this as logo. So we have a logo, we have the helmet, and then we have our main photo. That's all that you need, okay? All right, so I'm done with my search for right now. I'm going to go ahead and get my file done. The first thing, oh, you know what I need to do? I need to make some swatches for you all. Let's go ahead and make these into swatches. I'm going to turn my opacity all the way up, and I'm going to make these into swatches. and bring them all the way to the top. So I think I have a total of four colors here. So let's take a little area down here. I'm just making a little rectangle, and I'm going to create a layer mask. For that one, unlink the layer mask, and I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3. I'm just alt click and dragging. You won't have to do this, it'll already be in your file. And I'm just making my color palette. So y'all ask me how I make a color palette, that's it. It's just a little bit easier. Oh, move that one. Just a little bit easier to navigate our colors here. And why isn't, oh, duh, of course that's not going to show because it's white. So let me add a little, I'm going to put a drop shadow on that. And that way when we move it, I can see where it's going. Perfect. That's it. That's it. So let's see how quickly this goes. I have image 1 and I'm just cleaning up the file, prepping it for you all. That's why I love doing these live with you, because I get to test the theory of whether I actually made a template that you all can change out. So I'm going to grab these two and place them on top. Now we're not going to see them, we're just going to know that we need to switch them out. So I have image 1, image 2, and then somewhere I have my main image. And what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to click up here to switch out my main image. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to right click, go to my main image. I'll double click here. And let's go ahead and switch that out. So what I did was I gave you all a little wreath that you can play with, and that's one thing that we're going to do in class today. So even though I'm giving you all templates, like you get the templates for free, the whole point is that you're learning elements of Photoshop. You're learning advanced techniques in Photoshop in a beginner's course. Okay, so you do not need to know Photoshop to take these courses, as long as they are 100 level courses. Corey said one didn't use true colors. Yeah, so one didn't have the right reds because that logo, it didn't have the deep enough reds because it wasn't using true colors. I like that. All right, so I'm going to change out this image here. So I'm going to turn off Dolly, which is our original design. And let's go ahead and let's drag and drop. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? This is what I need you all to do before class 2. Is go ahead and let's do remove.bg, and we're going to remove the background from the images that we just made or we just downloaded. So let's go to our Brady folder, and literally I'm going to drag and drop one. Now I'll do this logo, but sometimes what it does is it takes out the white of the inside of the logo. So I'm going to show you what to do if it does that to you. And it didn't happen to do it this time, my luck. And let's do this photo. Let's see how well it does at cutting out this photo because it had some other people in it. Perfect. So let's download that one. That is now going to be our photo. And then we can grab the logo. It's going to be PNG, no background. And it might have already been PNG, no background. I don't know, but I'm just going through the steps so that basically you see what you need to do prior to class. And then one more, we'll make sure that it didn't take out anything white that I need to add back. Sometimes it'll think that it's the background, but it's really a part of the image. And it looks like it did a great job of cutting out this helmet too. Now this is way easier than doing it on Photoshop. I know how to remove backgrounds on Photoshop, but and I'm sure that Photoshop is actually probably rivaled now by these type of programs, and they've been improving. I saw something, I'm going to be testing it out on the new Photoshop 2022. I'm just not sure that all of you have it upgraded yet, but it has a feature that automatically selects the subject image, and I am really intrigued by that. I played with it a little bit. All right. So let's get it. Let's grab our image and drag and drop it. So we're gonna get, and I'm gonna delete, I need to get in the habit of deleting stuff I don't need anymore, because y'all, I have all these files that I do for all of these videos, and it's ridiculous. So let's take the photo, let's drag and drop it onto the artboard. Okay, so basically I placed it on top of the image that I wanted to replace. So this is what we're gonna play with. We're gonna make him pop out of the wreath, and we have a layer mask already on here. So this is why it kind of looks like he's already popping out. But we'll probably have to do some minor edits depending on what we want to stick out. Okay, so I've got that going on there. I have that hard line going on at the bottom of his image there. So I'm going to take his photo there, add a layer mask, get my brush. And usually about an 800 pixel brush is good to do that quick fade off. And so I'm just quickly fading that off. And that allows me to use the wreath here. Now, if I don't want to use a wreath, I just turn it off, and then I right click and disable that layer mask. And then we can kind of see a little bit better what we have on here. But I like the wreath. I think it makes it a little Christmassy themed. You're definitely going to be able to use or not use the wreath here. And then of course, my pine cones and things are hidden now behind the photo. So I'm going to activate that layer mask again, and now it pops back out. Perfect. So that's good. I'm spending way more time than I should on this, but I just want you all to know what we're going to do in class. So I'll say yes to update this smart object. All right, and then I'm going to show you, I'm going to turn off the knit texture off of the main image, because you can have the background knitted and the foreground not knitted, however you want to do that. Let's go ahead and start changing. Let's go ahead and pick our color palette. I think that's usually a good way. Once you bring a main image in, main image plus the logo. Let's do the logo, because I think it'd be easier to grab the colors from the logo versus the photo here. So let's change out image number. Let's do logo. Let's do logo up top and the helmet at the bottom, because he already has a helmet on. And maybe I just want to flip it around, make it a little different. So the poinsettia up front, that's image 2. Let's double click on that. And let me go ahead and do a save as, because I want to be able to come back to this later. Just in case I need to make any changes. Because what I've done here is made it simpler. So you have to save over these PNG images. So when I double click here, opens up the smart object, and I'm going to drag and drop the logo here. Here we go. And then I have to delete my previous image, otherwise it won't let me save this, because this is a PNG. All right, and then we see once I save it, it updates in all of these smart object areas. Genius, genius, if I may say so myself. And I guess, you know, I just did. Let's go ahead and update image number 1 now, which are the wreaths down here. I'm going to double click. Let's go ahead and drag and drop our helmet in this time. Boom, it's right there. It dropped in the size of the artboard. I'm going to delete the image below it. Yes, to update those changes. And boom, we're already coming along. All right, so we have the 2 logos changed out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to disable the knit pattern here. So let's go to that background. I'm going to open up the background right now and just turn off the knit pattern so you can see what we're doing and what that effect does. Now, of course, you don't have to use the knit pattern. You can absolutely print as is, but I think the knit just gives it a little novelty and a fun factor to it. Not to mention, it just makes it look like something that not everybody can make. All right, so let's go ahead and change out our colors here. Let's do, I mean, it's technically already red, but let's make sure we do the appropriate red. So we're going to create custom color swatches. So grab the color picker or the eyedropper tool, And I'm not sure, I think I'm going to go with the darker red rather than this true red here, just because it looks like that's more of the color in his uniform and I want to stay true to that. So let's go ahead and pick a red from his uniform, or I can pick it from the helmet here. And this just happens to be kind of a bad, you know, bad way to pick color. I want a red, but not the highlight and not the shadow red. I think that's it right there. So I'm going to double click on the foreground swatch here. And I'm going to go to, oh, you know what? I have these colors in my color library, but I didn't give them to you for this one. So this is how we're going to do it. Let's add it to swatches. We're going to call this color number 1. So we'll just put 1 there. All right. Boom. There it goes. Now we're going to pick out color number 2. Let's say this one's not going to be a lot of variation in color because it's basically red, black, and white. However, you would go about choosing your other colors pretty much the same way. So let's say for color number 2, I'm going to pick black, and I'm just going to pick not so much of a dark black because I want to see my texture through it. So I'm going to choose kind of a grayish black. Okay, and you'll see why in a little bit. If I choose pure black, you don't see the knit texture. If you choose a gray black, then you will see the knit texture. Okay, so I haven't applied these yet. I'm just picking colors right now. Let's do, for the background, let's do a little bit darker red. So maybe we'll do the, I'm trying to think, what do I want for the background? Because it's just red. And I see they have a little bit of orange in there, but I don't know. Let me see if they use orange, because I'm not sure. I thought I've seen them use orange, but I don't know how common that is. Let's look up a shirt that they sell and see how their fan gear looks. I think their fan gear is primarily just red and black. I don't think they use the orange like that. Or maybe they do. No, this is old stuff. I think they used to use orange back in the day, but I seldom see it now. So I'm not going to make up something that doesn't make sense. Like I said, I see people use orange, and I've seen orange before. No, you can absolutely press this onto a sweatshirt. I'm going to press it onto a t-shirt. I'm doing a version that I'm pressing onto a t-shirt. You can use this to make a blanket, pillows, whatever you want. The whole point is that I'm showing you all that these files can be utilized in so many different ways. And one of the ways is cut and sew. Okay, Ken, I'm not crazy then. I remember it having orange, but we're not going to do that because I don't see him really using that. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Let's maybe choose, we could even do the lighter red. Let's do the lighter red for color number 3. So color number 3, I'm going back to my color palette here. Let's choose that brighter red just so we could tie it together. And then let's add it to swatches. I guess that's going to be color number 3. And then color number 4, I will leave it to be white because I like to pull a little bit of a neutral color in there. All right, so we have all those colors. We want to check them. We come over to our swatches and I see that we have colors 1, 2, and I guess I didn't save my black, but I'll pick a custom black. Now what we're going to do is change out these swatches. So let's do the main red here. I'm going to duplicate this layer so I keep my other colors. And I don't even have to double click on this. I can just choose the red here. So let's go with that bright red. And let's see what it does for us. I'm not a fire engine red kind of girl. Like, it really bothers me to see that color. I like deep reds, but I'm going to go with it because it actually looks pretty good with the knit pattern on top. Looks much better with the knit pattern. All right, so color number 2, let's switch that out. Double click. Now you're just going to replace the color, but I have to add an additional layer just because I'm keeping up with all of these layers. So color 2 would be the black. And like I said, I'm going to make sure it's a little more gray so that I can pick up the knit pattern. There we go. See how you can see the knit pattern if you choose a little bit of a gray. If it's black, you will see nothing but solid color. All right, so let's go with our third color is going to be our darker red. I'm going to duplicate that layer. And we can pick from the palette that we created over here. Ew, it's a little too much red on red for me. Ugh. So let me choose color number 3 to be, let's do white for color number 3. And this is why it's great to have these as smart colors, because you don't have to go and pick and choose every, oh yeah, I like that a lot better. You don't have to pick and choose every little element to switch colors. Basically, you're globally changing colors. All right, so I think I like that. And then of course, you can't see the swatch because it's white. So I'm gonna just paste this little drop shadow here so we see them on all swatches. There we go. And that's our color switch out for this one. It's not as exciting because we don't have two different colors or contrasting colors, but I'm sure we will for the next flip. Now let's go ahead and change these words out. So right now it says, have a holly dolly Christmas. What could we put here? I need your help, Corey. What could we put here to kind of make this a little tongue-in-cheek parody type of, because usually ugly Christmas sweaters are going to have some kind of humor to it. LaDosha, stick around. We're going to talk about it briefly. We're not going to do cut and sew in class tonight. What we're doing is we're preparing the file, and those who are interested in doing cut sew, Coach Q is going to, or Q is going to take you through how to do the cut and sew. She'll have the patterns and everything, and I will have a file that converts your Innate Lab and your Innate Academy graphics and automatically applies them to the cut and sew pattern. All right, so let's see, what can we say for this one? I need a little input. Let's see if there is a Brady or a Tampa Bucks Christmas sweater. And what kind of expressions might exist for that? Because I like funny things. And things that are pretty clever. Most of the time, because the ugly Christmas sweaters definitely have to be something that that folks do for humor. It's not something you do for just straight fashion. Well, I guess you can. That's what I do them for fashion. But let's see. I don't see anything funny here. And y'all know I'm not into sports, so I do this for you all just to kind of show you how you can use these. But it looks like it's just the words. So if we need to do the word mark, we absolutely could. So let's do this. We're looking for the word mark logo. Normally, I'll actually just type in word mark. And their logos is open, so that's actually a really difficult thing to work with when it's open like that. But I'll show you how we can get around that. Let's open in a new tab. It has the white in it. So this is good. You know what? This is a good opportunity to show you what happens when you do remove BG. So I'm going to say this is word mark. And let's do remove.bg. It's going to look a little awkward when it takes all the white out of the background. All right, so let's go ahead and pull it in. Instead of the text here, I'm actually going to go to my text and turn off this text temporarily, and then we're just going to drag and drop this image in place of the text. So if you're doing a word mark, you probably don't need a word mark in text. And see how it looks odd, like it's missing parts of the background because it had the white on it. Let's go ahead and do maybe a stroke, and let's do a white stroke. See if that kind of cleans things up. And let's increase the size of that. There we go. And I'm going to pull it above because I think it already has a thick enough white outline, and that's what I was afraid of, that it was going to be a little too thick. But that's it there, and I'm sure we can find another version of the word mark that might look a little bit better. But now as one design, you can put the stitches, not the stitches, I apologize, the knit, so you can leave the knit pattern on the image and it looks like it's all, one sweater. Or you can let the foreground image stand out from the background by letting the background have the knit pattern to it, and then the foreground being clean and free from the sweater texture. Ha! LaDosha, I like that. I know it sounded like a fake laugh, but I liked it. Let's get bucked up. Okay, so I like that. Let me show you how to use the text. Because the whole point, I wanted to show you how you can edit the text. So instead of I'm gonna make this a little bit wider here so I can see the words. I have so many layer variations going on, you can't really see the layers here. So I'm gonna use my move tool, click on the word have a, double click there, and let's do let's get, and then for Christmas, I'm going to turn off well, you know what? Let's turn off this one. For Holly Dolly, I'm going to do let's get, because they have black and red. So for Holly Dolly, I'm double clicking here and I'm going to do let's get, and then I'll turn off this little let's get. This one's more substantial. And then for the Christmas, I have text here that has some different markings. Let's do BUC bucked up. Okay, now this font has some different type of swatches. So let's go to, you know what, I don't have my glyphs open, so let's open up the glyphs. And I'm thinking the U just needs to be a regular U. So I'm going to select it. Yeah, that's the ornate U. Because it's right by other text, I just want a regular U. So I'm just going to double click a regular U there. Or I think I have it on all caps. Hold on. Do I? Nope, I have my swatches on. So I'm going to take that off and then see if there it goes. That's my regular U. And then even the D looks like maybe I need the regular D because it's right there by that apostrophe. Let me see if we have a regular D. And we may not. I would think they would have a regular D, but I guess that D would just have to work. And take that off. Okay, there it goes. I just had to turn this feature off. What is that? The ligatures, swash and ligatures. So if you look here, you have your standard ligatures, then you have discretionary, You have your swatches. So whenever you have a font that does have swatches, you can sometimes trigger the swatch to come on with this button. Sometimes it doesn't work, depends on who built the font. All right, so I left the swatches on the B because I like that. Now let me see, since we're ending with a P, we're going to see if there is a fancy P to use. And I kind of made this a little too big. Tell you what, let me, my glyphs here, so I can really see. So that's my standard P. Let's see if I have a fancy P. I do, but it's got the fancy letter, part of the letter in front of. So that makes for a good beginning letter, but not for a good ending letter. So I'm going to leave it with that regular P. All right, so let's get bucked up. All right. I'll get the let's get, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Right click, let's get. I'm just grabbing these little corners here to make it a little bit bigger. And that's it. So that is a ready to go design. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and close this for a moment. I'm going to turn off all of my borders here. I'm going to turn off the swatches. So I'm going to go ahead and group these and call those swatches. Turn them off. And the whole objective is that we're going to export the foreground, which is here, separate from the background. All right. Oh, and I did want to show you too, if you want that white to come through a little bit wider but still have some texture to it, then you can play with the levels of this knit pattern. So if I go to, and I guess I'll go ahead and drop some levels on there for y'all. Let's do an adjustment layer, levels, and you'll be able to play with them to get them to show the color that you want. So see how that's brightening up a little bit? Now if you brighten it up too much, it's going to wash out the knit texture. But these, it's always helpful to know how levels can work with you. So I'll take this level and I'll alt click and drag it above the other knit just to give you that option. And then of course I have to clip it, create a clipping mask, otherwise it affects everything underneath it. So it does brighten that image up quite a bit. And then let's create a clipping mask there. All right, looks good. So I'm getting ready now to export this, and at least export the foreground from the background. I'm going to show you why you're going to be able to use any Innate Lab template or Innate Academy template for these cut and sew sessions that are coming up. So we're going to right click and I'm just going to quick export as a PNG. That's just going to be the foreground. So I'm going to put it in my Brady folder. It's going to be called foreground. Background, I'm going to do the exact same, right click, quick export as PNG. This is going to be your background. All right, so I know y'all sports fans have to hate on each other. I know it's part of the competitiveness. So I apologize if I'm not doing your team. I'm gonna do one more switch out that's not sports, so hopefully we don't have to have rivalry up in here. But I did want to just get one done. So of course you can do whatever theme and team you want. This would probably be really good for you know, making your pajama shirts and all of that good stuff too. I think this would be fun. All right, so I exported the foreground and background. So I'm going to show you once I do one more transformation, I will actually show you how we're going to use this. Let's go ahead and turn on this artboard here. And if I'm going to do this, let's say I just want to do a straight up 13 by 19. Normally I have a special layer mask for that. But what we'll do is just turn off this right here. We'll turn off that block color for this one. And we will turn off the whole background color, and now it becomes something that we can kind of print just on a regular t-shirt with the 13 by 19 print. And of course you may want to trim off parts of or just hide parts of the image that you don't want to show, like that particular reindeer right there. You can find that particular one, create a layer mask, and just mask it off. So get the brush here and just take it off. Same thing over here, just take that off. Okay, same thing with the snowflake back here. Let's grab our snowflake, and it's all merged together, so we're just going to take our brush. I'm coloring right on the layer. Instead, I'm supposed to be coloring on a layer mask, so let's create a layer mask. And I'll leave these layer masks on here for y'all. So I'm just getting rid of the snowflake there, so then that way when this prints, it pretty much looks like it could just be in the center of the shirt. Because not all of us are into doing all overs or even want to do all overs. Okay, I just try to make these templates as versatile as possible. So now I have to export the art layer. So I'm going to right click, quick export as PNG, and I'm going to put it in my Brady folder, but I'm going to call this one art-13 by 19. Save that. Then let me go ahead and bring back my elements of my block color. Right click and disable that layer mask. And now I'm going to save the entire art as an all over print. So let's go to quick export as PNG, and I'm going to call this one art dash all over. Okay, now this is going to be important for two things. One for your cut and sew, and then another for your mock-up. So the way that I'm saving this, remember I told y'all I like to work in a system frame of mind. Like, how can I do this once and then mindlessly do it over and over and over again without breaking a sweat? So that's the whole purpose of how these files are set up and how to get you trained on, oh, you know what? I need to add those little logos back there. So let's go to my reindeer to make sure I'm officially clicking on them. And let's just right click and disable the layer mask here so I can bring them back. So I need to re-export this art now. So let's go to quick export as PNG. It's going to be the all over art, and I'm going to replace it because I was missing those little ones that I had masked out earlier. Yeah, I know the YouTube algorithm is doing some funny stuff with these notifications, so I'm doing my best to announce it in the Facebook group first. I try to announce it as an event so that it even notifies you on Facebook, and that way, hopefully it's giving you some notice of what's going on, because I don't even get the notices on my secondary account. I have set up to get all notices from YouTube, and it hasn't been working for me either. All right, so let's do a switch up now, so we stop talking about Brady. How about that? Let's see. Did y'all even give me y'all been so pressed on talking about sports that I don't think anybody gave me an alternative one. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do one because this is one that I'm gonna print out. So I'll do mine that I plan on doing. All right, so let's go. I'm gonna take off this word mark now. I'm actually gonna just delete it because we don't need it. And let's change out our main photo. So the main image here, I'm going to do this is the one that I want to do. I want to do I have not been able to make this one yet. I made this design like 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm going to finally make my shirt. So I'm doing Old Letter Cane. And I'm going to do nights like this, I wish snowflakes would fall. If you know anything about 5 heartbeats, then you'll probably get that one. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take off this other photo since I am not going to give that to you all anyhow. And let's grab my paintbrush here, layer mask, mask it off. And because, you know what, I think I want to go with the blue theme. Let's see what it looks like in blue. So let me take his hat here. I'm going to do a little magic wand action here and select the red in his hat. Let me do not contiguous and not sample all layers. You know, probably be easiest to do is just do a hue saturation change. Now y'all aren't going to do all this. I just need to do this because I need to see something other than the red there because I want to make it blue. So I'm going to take and grab this red here. I'll shift my colors so I can get into the blue area. I'm going to make it kind of like that, maybe a little more of a Carolina blue. Now, of course, it changed the face too because the face has reds in it. And what it did was it just shifted the red. So since there's a layer mask on it, let me grab my paintbrush and I'm just going to bring the color back in the face. Meanwhile, the hat stays blue. That makes me happy. I'll take this same thing and I'm going to alt click and drag it to this background here. And then just delete the layer mask. Because I know it was red here, I know there's no such thing as like, or maybe there is a such thing as red mistletoe. I don't care if, I mean blue mistletoe. I don't care if there is. I'm matchy matchy, so I want my stuff blue. All right, so I'm going to leave the rest of that alone because I don't want to spend too much time on this. However, you don't have to use the wreath at all. You could just do the image here just as is, and I wouldn't even fade it off because on the ugly Christmas sweaters usually you do see the hard lines. It's just that usually it is incorporated with the design. So how about this? I'll disable the layer mask. I'll just make this one where it's just the image so you can see what it looks like without the garland there. So let's do it. I'm going to say yes to update those changes. All right, so I am going to change this to say, let's go to my text. And now this one is going to, let me turn on the one that we didn't have on before. This one. Because it's smaller, because we're going to, you can put a few words on here. So this one will say, nights like this, like this. And I'm going to alt click and drag this. It has a smart color on it. Let me alt click and drag it with the smart color. And then I'll type on this one. I wish raindrops would. And then I get to see how long that is. So I'm going to do nights like this, I wish, and then I'll do raindrops would on a separate line. So let me take, and this is where I don't redo this stuff all over again now. I just create variations. So let me move that variation. Alt click and drag that down. And this is how I do my my typography, like basically what I want to see, how long is the text, how legible do I want it to be, and all of that good stuff. And they'll see the bucked up, that text is, all right, Rumble. So I'm going to take the I Wish and change it to the font Rumble. Make it a little bit bigger. So it's going to be nice like this. I wish raindrops would fall. And I got to figure out how to spell fall. How many A's I'm going to put in. Like, this is a lot of thought that goes into this, y'all. So I'm just showing you how you can make this fun, make this, you know, something that you would wear, you'll be proud of, and I promise you that others will notice, especially if it's something that you are proud of. And I want to say fa ha 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 ha. That isn't being too long. I'm just going to stretch out the A. I think people get it. I also want it to look good. Okay, I think that's enough A's. And then instead of raindrops, I'm going to say snowflakes. So this is how I typically like I like clever kind of, oh, makes you think, makes you laugh when you see it. Okay, so nice like this, I wish snowflakes would fall. And I'm tight in here with this text, y'all. So I'm not spending too much time on the text, but I definitely would do better as far as maybe squishing it in a little bit, placement, that sort of thing. And then I'm going to change the colors up a little bit. So the snowflakes wood, I'm going to make that my, whatever this fill color one that I made is. Turn off the red, color that black, and then the nights like this, I'll do the same thing. Turn off the red, and then that way it has a little bit of contrast there. And then I'll bring the nights like this in front of I Wish. And there we go. And then of course my color is not going to be red, my smart color one. So I am going to see that change in just a little bit. All right. Let's do smart color one. Let's change it out. I can just double click on this red here. And I'm going to pick the blue. And I'm going to pick the blue and then the silvery blue. So let's go ahead and go to our color picker here. We have that color. I'm going to add it to my swatches. And I'll call that one. Second color, I'm going to grab this kind of light silvery blue here. I'm trying to grab that little slate blue. Let me zoom in a little bit. I have this this texture on too, so it's very difficult to pick my colors. All right, there we go. That one. We'll choose that as color number 2. Add the swatches. We'll put 2, and then the others just black and white. Basically, I can play off of those. So now let's go activate my swatches. And let's take color number 1. Bring my swatches back here. And I'll go with the darker blue. Then that way we get to see it in a different colorway. See how it automatically colored the text and everything? So as long as you know the direction that you're going, you can kind of make this, you know, just make it work. Let's go with the lighter blue for color number 2. And then I'm going to go, see, or maybe I'll do the third color with the lighter blue. Let's see. The beautiful thing is you get to kind of watch this update and give you an idea what everything looks like. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do the color number 2 as white. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Now I don't have anything in mind to change out for these because I really didn't plan to do this right now, but let's see, just on the fly what we can find. Let's look for maybe a blue ornament. And I want to find something that doesn't look odd just by itself. I don't want it to look like it's hanging, but you know, the string is there. So either I'm going to cut the string. I like this one. It's not the right color, but I like this. So let's just go ahead and, I hate when it does all of this because that is not truly the source image. So the other image I was going to look for is like a gift. That's cool, but I'd rather it just be the gift box by itself. So I'm pretty sure they want you to download this from their website, because if you do open image in a new tab and you see that it still has that checkerboard, it is not a true PNG. So don't let that fool you. That means they really just want you to download it from their site, which means you're probably risking getting a virus or, you know, potentially downloading something crazy. And it's telling you that this is the transparent version to download it. Y'all, I don't trust this like this. Let me go to my free pick. And let's just do a Christmas ornament. And I'll type in blue just to see if I can get a blue one, but really we can change the color to whatever we want. I just want to go ahead and get this in. And I want it isolated so that I don't have to pull it into, oh, that's a pretty gift. I like that. I'm trying to find some elements that'll be good to use for this, but I don't want them so close together. So these have some here that might look kind of realistic. I really like these gifts. I was just hoping they would have gifts with the ornaments that would just set it off. But these gifts, they do have ornaments, they're just not ornate. But I do like these little gifts. So I think I'm going to, now hopefully I can open Illustrator because these are going to be EPS. So let's put this in my Eddie King. I actually think it's King, K-I-N-G, but the way everybody says and the way we hear it is like Kane or Kane. Let's see. Show and folder. Let's see if we can pull that gift out of there. Now let's see if this is going to be easy to pull, because sometimes these vector images that have a lot of highlights and shadows, although they're vector, they're still very complicated because they're trying to create all the gradients. So in that case, you know, sometimes it does become very intensive even though it's an Illustrator vector file. Oh, this one was the gifts already laid out. I guess I could have done that one. Let's see what it's got for me. All right, let's go on into Photoshop. Let's grab, I think I'm going to do the gifts down here and the ornaments up top. So let's grab image 1, double click, and let's change that out. Let's see, edit, copy. Let's see if it just let me copy and paste it from Illustrator. Of course, that would be too easy. And it's thinking, y'all, so hopefully the computer can keep it up with us doing all of this live. Here we go. And whatever this little black glow is here is probably going to have to go away. This is taking me more time just to get a present than the whole template is to flip. So yeah, make sure you come to class with your elements all ready to go because this is definitely taking up more time than I would like. All right, let me see if I can show y'all Illustrator. We are not going to be doing Illustrator. It is not my favorite program, but it does get a lot done, especially with vector images, and the files are a lot smaller. It's just Photoshop has always been my kind of strong point. Illustrator is one of those ones I have to fight with to play. Let's see, that path right there. That's where the shadow is. Don't tell me that's a part of the little gift circle, and it is. I got something for that. Don't even much worry about it. Let's grab this right here. Come on, baby. There we go. And we're just gonna just straight up cut the shadow out because we don't have time to play with it. And then we can select, we already got the inside meat selected. Let's go ahead and clean that up. Control T. I'm gonna rotate it. I want it to have a little bit of a turn to it, but I want it to take up the same space that helmet takes up. There we go. And I want a silver instead of gold, so let me do a hue saturation. I'm gonna grab this yellow right here, and it probably will tell me it's yellows. I'm gonna take the saturation of yellow down so it becomes silver. And then I also grab the reds because it probably has some red in there too. Make it a little brighter. Get the yellows, make them a little bit brighter so it looks like a lighter silver. And even my blues, I'm going to leave this one darker blue because I think I'm going to like the contrast. So let's update that, see what it looks like. Oh, I lied. I have to merge all this stuff together. So let's delete this layer here. We're going to have to rasterize this layer because it can only be a PNG, so it means it has to be a very simple file with no additional layers. So let's rasterize the layer, and then I can merge this down, and now that is forever silver and not gold. Now I should be able to update it, and it should save to my new file. So there I have my presents. And I'm also thinking I don't like how that blue is. It's not like, it's got a little too much green in it for me. So let me move away from the green. I want kind of a cleaner blue there. Sorry, that was just bothering me. All right. So I have my blues, and then of course I need to change out this logo up here. Let me just see if I can find a blue heart. Since it's the 5 heartbeats, let me see if I can find a heart. And I can, of course, make it blue. I'm looking for a 3D heart. Something interesting. I don't see anything interesting yet. I'm making this way more. Oh, that's good. I like a little 3D heart. So let's grab one of those. It probably won't be the right color, but that's okay because we can make it whatever color we want. And then I got to go ahead and upload this file for you all. So let's grab, this isn't my blue, but it is blue. So let's grab that one. I'm going to copy it. And same way we did before. Image 2, we're going to double click and switch it out. Delete the previous layer, and this time I'm going to grab this color here. Drag it on top of here, and let's change the blend mode to color. Then that way it becomes the color I need it to be. And I will have to again rasterize this layer and merge it down so that it's just a simple PNG. And now my heart should update. My silly billy gumdrop behind. I should have made this the lighter blue color. No problem. Let's go into image number 2. Let's grab the lighter blue. Drag and drop it. Delete the layer mask. And then the blend mode should be on color. Actually, this one has to be a little bit different because it's a lighter color. We'll do color, and then I'm going to change the blend, the levels here, so I can get a lighter color. There we go. I want it to match. All right, so now let's go ahead and merge those layers. I lied. I'm supposed to clip this. I'm trying to rush now because I want to go ahead and get this uploaded, and I am taking longer than I wanted to for this. So let's do, go ahead and merge those now, and now I should have the lighter color heart. There we go. All right, so that is a design ready to go. I can turn off my swatches, and again, same process. I'm going to close up my folders now. I'm going to export my background. Quick export as a PNG. And then this one I'm going to save in my edit folder. Right click and quick export as PNG for the foreground, the entire art. Export as PNG. And then the 13 by 19, I'm going to activate this. And you could print this just like this, but what I end up doing is taking off the background, taking off this block color, turn off the block color. And then what I do for wherever there's white, the accents, I change to an alternate color. So for this one, although I have it turned off, I'll make that one the lighter blue, I believe, or the darker blue. There we go. And then I get a little bit of color in there. And let's see, there's something about this. Oh, the outline is on there. So the outline color is white. Let's change the outline color to the lighter blue. That way we can see it when it's in the PNG. There we go. So now I can take this whole thing as the art layer, right click, quick export as PNG, and I'm going to save as art-13 by 19. All right, so I'm doing a very quick preview of how this will be applied to the cut and sew class. I'm not at all going to show you the cut and sew process. That's not my deal. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to be learning from the cut and sew, course. So what we're going to do is bring it into our file here. So you're going to end up with something like this. And this is why I say you want to make sure you're saving this. As I'm telling you to save it, it makes it so much simpler. All I have to do is change my background and my foreground. Background. Boom, there it is. Drag and drop it. Just updating those smart objects. Change out my foreground. And then I can change out my accent color here. And I probably will work on this image a little bit because this isn't what I would actually print. I probably would play it a little bit more. You know, I got to do some extra stuff. But the whole principle is there on how you would change this out. Let's see what it looks like with the Brady look for those who won't get too offended and be thrown up right now if it's not your team. Let me go and show you how quick that would be to change it out. Where do we put that? Put it in the Brady folder. Background and foreground, trying to tell you. Background, drop it like it's hot. Delete the old one. Close it out. Then change out your foreground. Same deal, delete the previous one. Close out, update it. And all I have to do is change my accent color here. I think that's that red that I don't like, but I think that is the color from the logo, so I'm going to choose that one. And of course, Q will be showing you all of the ways that you all will be prepping the actual fabric, pressing the image onto the fabric, cutting it, and sewing it together and assembling it. I'm looking forward to learning that. I do know some things about sewing. I used to sew back in the day, but I'm actually looking forward to getting back into it. So this is going to be a fun opportunity to do that. However, I do want to show you, you're not going to get the mock-up file tonight because it's already a lot of work. So I am going to give you the mock-up. You know what, did I save? My 156 mock-up is probably in my 155 folder if I know me. If I really know me, I saved over my 155 mock-up with a 156 mock-up. That's how I really know me. What's today? 20. Let's see, 156 mockup. There it is. Let me drag it to my 156 folder. So I will give you this after class. You're not going to have the mockup folder right away, but you will get the mockup file. And the mockup file, same thing. You're just going to change out the background and the foreground. Same process. There's your background. Let me zoom in here a little bit. And the reason why this is so long is because it has several items. You have a mask in there. You have a hoodie. It's going to change with all of this as well. So basically when I change out these elements, then they'll all update to the new graphic. So that's the 13x19 version. Boom, drop it like it's hot, hit enter. Now for this one, because it's a PNG, you have to delete the previous one. I'm just going to remember that this is my Eddie one. Because when I have to replace things, it's not easy to just go back and well, it is easy to go back and redo it, but it doesn't save all of those layers. So basically, it prevents the file from becoming too large. Like how this one, I can just add layers here. This file can be extremely large because of how much I'm adding to it without deleting these previous layers. So certain things I try to avoid making them so large, so I make you delete the layers underneath it. If it says PNG right here, you have to delete the other layers. If it says JPEG right there, you have to delete the other layers. If it says PSB, then that means that it's a Photoshop file and you can keep the layers. It's a smart object. Well, it's a smart object that is also its own Photoshop file. All right, I'm going to change this color right here of the band to, what do we choose, the darker blue. And there we have it, t-shirt. Now this one is not a cut and sew. Basically we would be doing just a regular all over. That's why I say you don't have to do cut and sew. This one is indeed a cut and sew, or you would have to meticulously place your prints in order to make it look that way, and it'll never be exactly right because you're going to have a curve here and not a straight line, so your image is going to be it's going to be broken up along this seam. If you do cut and sew, it will not be broken up along the seam. It will be basically broken up at the seam under the arm that nobody ever sees. Okay, so I can change out this image here, the logo image. I'll just, instead of changing it out to logo, I will place old Liddy Kane. And this is a PSB, so I can keep that in there. And maybe for this one, I would actually place it at the top of the socks there. It doesn't have my color change to his hat, but I think you get the idea. All right, so that's the mock-up file that you'll get for free. You'll change everything accordingly. And you can, for the logo, I would suggest that you just take the image here, which says main image, right click and quick export that as a PNG. Then that will become, if you want to call it the logo so you remember, just call it logo. And then that way, when you put it in your folder, you know what it's supposed to replace. Then that way he has his blue hat on. All right, so I think we did all right for ourselves. I need to go ahead and get this loaded because this class is going to start very soon. Because I spent so much time showing you all how this could work, what we're going to do is start class at 8:30. It won't take a full 2 hours. We'll be done by 10 o'clock because I want you all to have these files prepped so that you can do the cut and sew with Q. Okay, so once I upload this, you're going to have the file to go ahead and make your image adjustments. And then for those who are interested in taking the class, it'll be ready next week. If you want to do the cut and sew class, it will be a pre-recorded class. It's not a live class. Pre-recorded cut and sew class. You can use the images that you made in this class for that class, and it will be a separate fee, of course, because that's Coach Q showing you the ins and outs of cut and sew. Let me see if I think Q was gonna email me. Let me check real quick. Because she was working on this today. She was so excited. She was like, I'm gonna go ahead and make this now. I was like, all right then. Yep, I see my email now. Let me see what we have here. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Hold on, y'all. Un momento. I'm going to go ahead and save these images so I can pull them up for you. Q, this looks good. I don't know, Q, are you in the chat? Because I've been talking. I haven't even been looking. Oh, neat. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she just did her thing literally in like an hour or so of me giving her this file. Man, she is the cut and sew queen for real. Let me show y'all what I got going on here in my inbox. Yeah, baby. Okay. She's a little cheeky right there. Look at the hand behind the head with the cheek showing. Go on, do it. Hold on, Q. Let me see if you're here. Let me see if I can see you in the chat. I got a lot going on. Thank you, E. I see your message now. Yeah, so that Q Butler 76 right there, that is Q. That is Q coming at you with this uh wonderful, like beautiful execution here. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see this though? Y'all, this looks so dope. Like, I imagined it was going to be dope because it's, a creation from the both of us working together, putting our heads together. But man, oh, and what she did was she sent me the difference. So, you know how I told you that you can put the knit over the image or not over the image? So, she actually pressed this onto fabric. If you can see, that's actually a fabric press right there. And she's showing us the difference between when you put the knit on there versus when you don't put the knit. So of course this looks like a little more believable as, a knitted sweater. However, this is a lot more legible and it stands out more. So you have that option to do that. When I created the template, I knew that that would be better for some things than the others, but y'all, this is so dope. This is so dope. Yes, she did put it down. Yes, she did. So I hope y'all are like really excited. We have so many collaborations and things going on right now and ways that I'm going to show you all how to use your Innate Lab templates for DTF, for if you're doing print and cut, let's say you're doing solvent printer print and cut, or you're doing the print and cut with the easy subly, if you're doing the flocking, if you're doing glitter. I want to show you all how we can use these templates, create some fire designs, and then apply them in different ways. All right, so we're going to expand in some areas outside of sublimation. We're going to expand in some areas outside of, just regularly putting a 13 by 19 or an all over print on a t-shirt. We're really going to get into some cool projects. So I appreciate Coach Q for like literally executing this on the drop of a hat. So that that shows you how far she's going to be as a teacher. Yes, she definitely understood the assignment. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so the cut and sew will be for all sizes. It's going to be her class. So what we're going to do is modify it to where the template will automatically generate. As long as you created your foreground and your background image in this class, you're going to be ready for Q's class. Okay. And you don't have to do the Christmas sweater. You can do any of the Innate Lab templates as long as you have a foreground image and a background image, because the background is all the same size. It's 36 by 44. The foreground image is usually like somewhere around 13 by 19 or something to that effect. You're going to be able to pull those images into the template. It will automatically generate the artwork, and she will even print and press it on the fabric and mail you the fabric if you want to have that. If you don't have a large format printer, then she does also sell the fabric. So if you're doing the 13 by 19, I'm gonna find a way for you all to split this up so you can still do your pieces. So I'm working on that. She's working on the content to make sure you all get the cut and sew patterns. And I think we all should at least try sewing a little bit, because you'll be amazed at what you can create once you know there are no limitations in your substrates. So yeah, this looks amazing. And by the way, that's True Colors ink. Sing it with me. I see your true colors. Yeah, that's True Colors. That's the pro ink there. Definitely coming through true. Y'all see those reds? Y'all see how vivid that color is? It's not faded out. It's not, drowned out. That's True Colors ink there. So, and I know Q definitely reps for that as well. Okay, babies, I gotta let y'all go because I need to upload this class for tonight. So like I said, we're gonna start class at 8:30 so that it gives you plenty of time to download this file and the fonts. So in the meantime, you should already know what image you want to use for your main image and what two images you want to switch out for your pattern. And then you'll be done. You'll have everything prepared that you need to have prepared for Q's class. But you will also have whatever you need to have prepared if you wanted to press this up right now on a t-shirt. All right, Latrice, let's get that sewing machine. Let's dust it off and put it to work. All right, so I will check in with y'all in just a little bit. I'll see you in class. For those of you who will be in the class at the Academy, I will post the coupon code for the VIP members. If you're not a VIP member, you're a standard member, make sure that you use your 67% off code if you're going to join the class live tonight. And then if you're not a member and you just want to pay for the class a la carte, it is $60 for the live course, and it's $30 for the once it's recorded and you just want to access the recorded version. But you get the template for free with the class. And of course, these are resources that are super valuable and that you'll use over and over again. All right, I don't know if let's see, Coach Chrissy might be here. Coach Chrissy has said that she's done tens and thousands off of one template, which was class number 125, the graduation template. So I know that you all can put these things to work. I know that this can grow your business. I know that you can stand out, a lot greater than maybe some of your counterparts in your local areas and online even. So I know that this is a resource that if you put it to use, it will work for you. All right. Yeah, Pokemon would have been a good one. How come I didn't see that one? All right. Well, maybe next time y'all got old Lady Kane tonight. All right. We will post that. We'll post everything about Coach Q's class, including the cost, where it will, like how you'll get to the class as far as the link goes, and what you'll need to have prepared in order to take the class. So it will be a class that you can do at your own pace. However, she's going to want to make sure that you know what you're doing and that you have the appropriate tools. So she's going to do some prepping to show you all what you're going to need before you even think you're going to print and press this. What type of fabric you need. Of course, there are going to be some issues with setting up your sewing machines and all of that good stuff. What kind of seams you're going to be using, I don't know, but I am positive she's going to lay all that out for you. Okay. All right, loves. Well, I will see y'all in class in just a little bit. I appreciate you all. I love you dearly. And until next time, bye.